If you're doing all the right things, eating clean, cutting back on sugar, avoiding junk food, and yet you're still dealing with stubborn fat, energy crashes, brain fog, or unpredictable hunger, I want you to hear this clearly right from the start. Your body is not broken. It's responding exactly the way it was designed to respond. And the signal that's driving these issues has almost nothing to do with calories, carbs, or even food quality. It has to do with how fast you eat. This is something very few people talk about, but it may be one of the most overlooked factors in fat storage, blood sugar instability, and energy regulation. Now, let me ask you something important. Think about your last meal. Did it take you 5 minutes or 15? Did you eat while scrolling on your phone, answering emails, watching TV, or rushing through your day? Because the speed at which food enters your digestive system sends powerful signals to your hormones, your nervous system, and your fat cells. When food enters the stomach too quickly, the body doesn't have time to prepare properly. Normally, digestion follows a precise sequence. As food enters the stomach, gut hormones like GLP-1, CCK, and PY slowly rise. These hormones signal fullness, regulate insulin, slow gastric emptying, and help determine whether energy is burned or stored. But when you eat too fast, that sequence gets disrupted. Food rushes through the stomach and empties into the small intestine before those hormones have time to activate. As a result, glucose hits the bloodstream harder and faster. Insulin demand spikes abruptly. Cortisol, the stress hormone, remains elevated. And when cortisol and insulin are high at the same time, fat cells receive a very clear message. Hold on to energy. Do not release it. This is why fast eating can override even the healthiest food choices. Now here's something most people don't realize. Insulin doesn't just spike and disappear. The faster you eat, the longer insulin stays elevated after the meal, even when you stop eating. And as long as insulin remains high, fat burning is suppressed. Fat storage signals stay active. Energy becomes trapped instead of available. That's why people who eat quickly often feel tired after meals instead of energized. That's why they experience crashes, cravings, and hunger soon after eating, even when the meal was balanced and nutritious. Let me pause with you for a moment. Right now, take one slow, deep breath through your nose. Let your shoulders drop. Relax your jaw. That calm state you just created is not optional for digestion. It's required. Your digestive system only functions optimally when your nervous system is in parasympathetic mode, also known as rest and digest. When you eat fast, distracted, stressed, or rushed, your body remains in fight or flight mode. In that state, digestion is not the priority. Survival is. Blood flow is diverted away from the gut. Gastric emptying speeds up. Insulin stays elevated longer, and blood sugar becomes unstable even if the food itself is healthy. This explains something many people find confusing. Two people can eat the exact same meal with the same calories and nutrients and have completely different outcomes. One feels satisfied, energized, and stable. The other feels bloated, tired, hungry again, and prone to fat storage. The difference isn't willpower, it's how the body interpreted the meal. And that interpretation begins before the first bite. This brings me to something simple, but incredibly powerful that I want you to take with you. I call it the first bite reset. Before the first bite of every meal, do this. Take one slow breath through your nose. Wait 5 seconds, then eat. That's it. This brief pause signals safety to your nervous system. It activates parasympathetic tone. It slows gastric emptying. It allows gut hormones to rise in the correct sequence. And here's the key point. That single reset changes how your body interprets the entire meal. If, after the first few bites, you feel calmer, grounded, and present, digestion is online. Hormones are communicating properly. Energy regulation is working in your favor. If you feel rushed, tense, or tight, your body is still receiving stress signals and storage mode remains active. Now, I want you to understand something empowering. You don't have to eat perfectly. You don't have to count calories. You don't have to eliminate entire food groups. How you start your meal often matters more than what's on your plate. Slowing down the first 5 minutes of eating can improve blood sugar control, reduce insulin spikes, enhance satiety, and support fat regulation without changing a single food. Chewing thoroughly also plays a major role here. Each chew stimulates digestive enzymes, signals fullness hormones, and slows glucose absorption. It's not about perfection. It's about awareness. And here's another important point. Fast eating keeps cortisol elevated. Chronic cortisol elevation doesn't just affect fat storage. It disrupts sleep, increases cravings, suppresses thyroid function, and makes it harder for your body to feel safe enough to let go of stored energy. So when people say, I eat healthy, but my body won't change, what they're often experiencing is a nervous system problem, not a diet problem. Your body releases fat when it feels safe. Your body burns energy when it feels regulated. Your body heals when it feels calm. Speed works against all three. Slowness works with them. Now imagine applying this consistently. Not perfectly, just consistently. Every meal becomes a signal of safety instead of stress. Insulin responses become smoother. Energy becomes more stable. Hunger becomes predictable instead of chaotic. This is how small changes create large results over time. And I want to leave you with this reminder. Your body is not working against you. It's listening to your signals. How you eat communicates just as much as what you eat. So slow the first bite. Breathe before you begin. Let your nervous system lead the way. That one small change alone can improve energy, blood sugar balance, and fat regulation without restriction, without force, and without fighting your body. I hope this message serves you well. Please share it with your friends and family, especially those who feel frustrated despite doing everything right. Leave your comments below, and most importantly, make it a great day.